Food is a staple for all of us. But for Laura, it's the way you plan your life. You plan your life between each meal, not your meals between your life. And in this episode, we're going to talk about all of the different foods we've eaten from around the world. Some of the good stuff, some like raw horse kind of stuff, some testicle kind of stuff, not human. Bugs, everything else on this episode of Stories, Faces, Places. Connecting the world one person at a time, experiencing a constant variety of life, feeling an inspiration that comes from unforeseen places. This is Stories, Faces, Places with Al and Laura. Well, you've called it food, but I have to tell you, you are good with food. Oh, and this involves some drink too, of course. You can't do food without drink. But I want to just say that I have to defer to you when it comes to food. Because in the past, when we go into a restaurant or we eat anything, wherever we are in the world, you seem to pick the better meal than I do.
Oh, I'm a pro.
And maybe it's because I'm a little too conservative, maybe not. But it's always when I tell the waitress or the server there to surprise me, that's when I end up with the best stuff. So I always say to you, take it away, Laura. Is this the place we need to eat? You pick it. You're the one. I'm out. This is your deal. You're on. Food. Go food. Go food.
Well, I have to say this to start with. Traveling, part of the experience is the food and drink. Every time I ask anybody about a place they visited, inevitably, within the first 3 sentences of them describing their trip, they bring up a memory of some delicious food they tried for the first time.
Or not so delicious food.
Not, exactly. Or some strange thing that they tried.
There's a lot of complaints, though. We do get a lot of people that complain they have horrible food experiences.
Right. But
often we can't understand
But
why.
what I'm saying is traveling and food and drink go hand in hand. So it's a natural to talk about it. And exactly, sometimes you have some bad experiences. And just mentioning that, where you said people have a lot of times bad experiences with food that they eat on trips.
Well, I've seen a lot of emails come across my desk that said, the food I went on this trip and the food was horrible.
And I'm going to tell you...
And I'm like, well, you should have listened to our podcast and listened to where we went.
Well, listen, I want to say where some people, I think, make the mistake. And they end up with things that aren't so good when they're traveling. And you mentioned...
They're not so good. They were horrible.
Okay.
You don't have to sugarcoat this.
Part of the problem is what you do. If you go into, say you're in Mexico.
I knew I'd be at fault.
Say you're in Mexico and you go into a restaurant. If you try to order something that is typical from the food that you would eat back home, say, oh yeah, I want a chef salad, or I would like, some tomato soup. You may not get the best version of that because it might be more American, or it might be something you would find in your home country. You can't do that. You're in Mexico or you're wherever you are. You have to eat what is of the region. Order what they typically cook. What are they known for? And if you don't know, just like you started doing, Al, you say, hey, surprise me. Bring me something that is your specialty of the house. And inevitably, you're going to get something great. You may not know what it is exactly.
Most of the time, I don't know what it is.
And you don't want to ask, but just eat it.
You try it first.
You try it first. Have a couple glasses of wine or something. That always helps. But it's typically the best.
Yeah, liquor yourself up.
Okay, I'm kind of.
You can't remember.
I'm kind of kidding, but not completely. Like, okay, let's just jump right in because you reminded me of a story. Spain, Barcelona.
Okay.
Do you recall?
Well, there's a lot of things to recall in Barcelona. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Well, one of our fun memories, my great memory, is paella.
Oh yes, paella,
and
complete with tentacles, eyeballs, whole fish,
all sorts of things.
I could not look at the shrimp because they were looking back at me.
Well, I had never had paella before, and this was the best place to try paella for the first time. So we had rented bikes that day, and we had stopped after riding miles at this great little outdoor place, and they had paella as their specialty. So and it came with a glass of sangria. So I said, absolutely, bring me the paella, the seafood paella with the sangria. Well, let's just say I'm glad that I started with that massive tankard of sangria.
The jug.
Before they brought me the pan of seafood paella, because
Everybody was looking back at you.
I wasn't prepared for the whole shrimp with the heads on it, things with tentacles that I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, here was the preparation. It came off the boat. They rinsed it under the water. They threw it in the pan. That's it.
That's about it. But
everything was looking at you, winking at you.
had arms, legs.
Still had all their...
Their swimming apparatus, fins, what have you. But I honestly, that was such good pie. It was incredible. Mouth-watering, incredible paella. And I did eat everything. Well, I didn't eat the heads. I didn't eat the heads of the things, although I know that people do. But it was incredible. Now, might I say the sangria helped? Well, it gave me the courage to try the things that maybe I wouldn't have tried otherwise. But that was an excellent experience, and I always remember that, sitting outside by the seaside in Barcelona. Yeah.
I remember sitting outside by the seaside in Barcelona, looking at the stuff, looking it back at you.
But that was so delicious. And the sangria was not bad also. It was excellent. And other things, as long as we're in Spain, Al, in Segovia. What was everybody eating in Segovia that you recall? Oh, okay, you're looking at me funny like you don't remember. The roasted suckling pig.
Oh, yes, piglet.
The piglet. And I'm not sure I'm going to say the name right, but cochinillo. Cochinillo?
Suckling pig.
Yes.
Yeah, the little baby.
And it took me aback a little bit because my first thought was, oh, I know I eat pork everywhere I go, but I never think of it in a baby form. So when you think of it as a baby pig, it's like, oh, so cute. I don't know if I want that roasted and sitting on my plate whole, because that's what they do. They'll bring it out as a whole baby pig, basically looking at you.
You know, the problem with us in America is we're spoiled with our food.
Yeah,
our food is really over-prepared, I think. I mean, a pig is a pig.
True.
A pig is a pig. It's grown and made for food. For us, that's it. It's farm raised for food. Fish is farm raised too. Cows are farm raised. You know, we just prepare it completely differently so that we don't. Oh, that's really a pig, like with a head and eyes and cute little face.
Well, yeah,
cute little piglet ears.
Right. While we're eating it, we really don't want to picture it in its live form. But in other countries, they don't mind it. They're used to it.
Well, it's food.
Exactly.
We shouldn't make a big deal of it.
But just so
it did remind me of Winnie the Pooh, though.
Winnie the Pooh? We didn't eat Winnie the Pooh.
Piglet.
Oh my gosh. So roasted suckling pig is a delicacy in Spain and many other countries, but in Spain specifically. And the pigs are farm raised. The baby pigs are farm raised typically within about 100 miles surrounding Madrid are these farms. And in Segovia, a town about half an hour outside of Madrid, which is, by the way, an incredible little medieval town. It's one
gorgeous
of your favorite.
Town. I'm going back there. And I'm going to just stay there forever.
And they have an incredible Roman aqueduct there that still stands to this day, and it is just awe-inspiring, amazing. So
the town was awesome.
Itself.
The market there was just great on Saturdays.
They have
the town.
Well, and they have a castle there. It's a medieval little hill town.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to get to outside of Madrid. It's only half an hour drive, but you could also take a train.
Talk about a great simple life. Oh,
it was so peaceful with the swallows all flying above and chirping. But there is a place there that everybody likes to go to because it's run, this is the fourth generation of this family that has been running this restaurant, owning this restaurant called Maison de Candido. And it's on sort of, I want to say the main drag because there is one sort of main cobblestone street that runs through Segovia. And it
depends on which door, supposedly, you come in Segovia. If you come in by the aqueduct.
Yes.
If you come in by the aqueduct, then you have a choice. You go straight on the low road, as I say it, or you kind of go to the right a little bit on the high road. And this restaurant is up on the high road, just a little bit past the aqueduct.
Almost to the square, to the main square.
More towards the square. And that's where you get to the square is the high road. The low road kind of stays out off of town a little bit. And there's some shops and stuff on the low road. But yeah, anyway.
Well, wait, and the high road is a pedestrian-only street. So the only cars on that street might be local and local delivery. So it's a pedestrian-only street. And that restaurant, Maison de Candido, they are known for their conchinillo. I'm probably murdering that word, but it's the baby, it's the suckling pig, and it's incredible. And people, I would recommend
I'll go with murdering the word.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No pun intended.
Oh, stop. I'm really bad at that. All right, so Al, I'm going to throw out another name of a country, and you tell me what you are.
So far, I'm 0 for 2.
Tell me what you were reminded of. Hungary. In Hungary.
Hungary. Okay, comes to mind is Unicum by the Zvack family. You know, the liquor.
Oh, yes.
It's got like 40 or so plus herbs in it. It was invented by some physician who was the physician for the King Joseph II back in Hungary because he had digestive problems. So he made it to help his digestion.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think it probably just knocked him out.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be like a medicine.
Yeah.
But I think because of the alcohol...
I like the way their medicine is.
Yeah, I think because of the alcohol, people started to drink it.
Right.
More than just medicinal.
Oh, it's always medicinal.
Well, it tastes medicinal, so we did try that. You're right.
It doesn't taste medicinal.
Oh, it was horrible. I drank it. You barely did.
Yeah. Well, we have it we mentioned, we go through it all in our podcast on Hungary if everybody wants to listen to that.
Budapest Christmas market.
Yeah, but that what it reminds me of. Is there something else?
Well, hold on a second, because you brought to mind a place to try that. If you just want to take a taste, you want to buy a whole bottle of it, is the Central Market. It's a great place to go in Budapest to taste all different foods and drink, and there are different booths, so you can go up and just get a shot of this, and that's where we tried that. Don't need to try that again. But the other thing that we had in the Central Market that was incredible was...
It's almost like a grappa.
Oh, like a grappa?
Yeah, if you're a grappa person, you'll probably like this a lot. If you're not a grappa person, then you probably,
It tastes a little like cough medicine.
But it's the national drink of Hungary.
You're right. Well, the other thing that is very Hungarian is langos. And we tried the langos in the Central Market as well. Oh, my gosh, that was incredible. So langos is a fried dough, but it's a very, very light fried dough and kind of fluffy, I want to say. Right, Al? Is that like the texture of it? It would remind you when you see it's like elephant ears that you see at the carnival.
Yeah, it's just a tad different than fried dough, though.
Because it's lighter. Fried dough to me is a little bit heavier and greasier. And maybe because we had such an incredible...
langos cooker place.
Exactly. Up on the second floor of the Central Market, and go to one of the places that has the most people lined up there, and just wait because it'll be the best place. But langos, what we found out, an interesting little tidbit about ordering and eating langos in Hungary
from a local, that if you want to look like a local, then you eat your langos with just sour cream on top.
And cheese.
And a little cheese.
No, grated white cheese.
Yeah. And if you want to look like a tourist, then you start making it look like pizza. Where you throw pepperoni and ham and all kinds of other stuff on top of it.
Because you're right, because they do.
And all the locals look at you and go, tourist, right. Tourist. Because that's what they were telling us. They were saying, don't eat it like that.
Don't order it with all the toppings.
Like a tourist.
Yeah, because they will sell it with all different toppings that you can order. But apparently, that's not the traditional way to eat it. So try it the traditional way with just the sour cream, which, again, I found very interesting because, hey, coming from Chicago where we eat pizza, great deep dish pizza, I assumed the cheese would be melted on top of this, the fried dough. But it's not.
The langos.
The langos. So they put cold sour cream, they spread that on there, and then they grate. It's like a grated white cheese, and it's a mild cheese, but there's grated white cheese on top, and that is not melted. It's served cold on top. It's incredible. So the langos is something that I had for the first time in Hungary. Absolutely loved it. Crave it. And would go back just for that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing we ate at all sorts of places in Hungary is goulash. Got to have goulash, which is like a stew. Well, most people probably know what goulash is, but that's like a stew and beef stew kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was delicious. So, all right, I got to name another country. Ljubljana. Oh, that's a city. Ljubljana, Slovenia. What comes to your mind, Al?
Oh, first of all, I love that city, but what comes to my mind is horse. Raw, delicious horse.
Now, we're not saying that this is what they all eat there, but this is what we had there.
Incredible. And this is the details are on our
Ljubljana podcast. We tell
too.
the story.